guys, it's Abby from Autumn of Pelennor, and today I'm doing the best books you've never heard of tag. So this I saw from Drinking by My Shelf's Emma, and I'll link her video as well as the original tag down below in the description. And it goes through books that I've already read, and it's an opportunity for me to tell you guys about books that I've read and I love that haven't been reviewed enough. I'm using Goodreads for this rather than Amazon or any other sort of service, just because it's the easiest way for me, because I have them all on my Goodreads, all the books that I've read. So the first question is to do with numbers. So how many books under 250, 100 and 25 reviews that I have on my read shelf. So for books with less than 25 reviews, I've only read 20 books with less than 25 reviews. A lot of these are very small books or little magazines, and the one I'm going to recommend that you pick up is one that I added to Goodreads myself. Most of these I'm just going to be popping up as an image, but I can grab this one, which is good because the only image online on Goodreads is mine, and it's Pompeii, Images and Reconstructions of the Ancient City Buried by Vesuvius. So if you know much about me, if you've been on my channel, you know why I like this book and why I picked it up, but it's amazing because it has these illustrations that are on plastic and reveal the like actual image of the present day behind it. I really enjoyed it. It told me a lot of information. I think it's reasonably well researched, and it gives all of its sources, so you can it like gives you a to find out more section here. So you can go and, oh no, there we go. So you can go and look up more stuff yourself. So this is the book that I recommend from that. It's only got one review from me. I recommend. I'll link Goodreads links down in the description, or the Amazon links if I can find it, especially for something like that where it's a bit harder to find. Then for books with 100 ratings or less, I have 60 of them that I've read. It was a little bit more difficult to do this one. Some of them are obvious. The two that I'm going to give you are obvious, but I was also tempted to put some sequels that are to books that are going to be in the under 250 section. So I've left them out, but the sequels to the books that I recommend are also great. But the two I am going to say are Beneath the Surface by Rebecca Langham and The Malinowski Papers. I can't remember who that's by. Beneath the Surface is a sci-fi book where it's kind of like split into two different cultures. Some are on the surface, some are beneath, and the ones under the surface are seen as lesser people. It was a little while ago that I read it, but I really enjoyed it, and I gave it 5 stars. I adored it. And then the other book that I also loved was The Malinowski Papers, which is a kind of historical fiction on the Romanov family, with Anastasia being the main focus as per with that family. I was actually going to give this 4 stars in the beginning when I first finished it, but then I finished reading it when I was with my boyfriend, and he was like, you wouldn't put it down. You wouldn't put it down to talk to me. Give it 5 stars. I was like, fair enough. So this was also a 5-star review from me. Both of them are really amazing, and I definitely do recommend. Again, they are on my Goodreads. My general Goodreads is always linked down below. Go check them out. Then for books under 250 ratings, I've got 92, which I think is a pretty decent amount of books to have on my shelves that I've read for under 250 reviews. But the sad thing is that 2 of my favourite books are on there. So I'm gonna go with my second favourite. Sorry Jamal, I do adore it, but it's second. He's never gonna watch it, it's fine. And that is The Last Roundhead by Jamal Evans. This follows a man called Blandford Candy in the Civil War that we had here in the UK at like the Cromwell era. The Cromwell era, and like the Charleses and things. How do I explain it to Americans? Basically, loads of people rose up and were like, yeah, we don't want a king anymore, we want like someone representative of the country. And then we went back to kings and queens after a while, because Cromwell wasn't great. But these books are hilarious and incredibly accurate, because Jamal Evans is a historian, he's a history lecturer at a university, and they're just so absorbing, and I recommend them time and time again. Trust me guys, if you like historical fiction, adult historical fiction, it's definitely adult. Oh my god, just pick it up. And then the last book I'm going to recommend is Queendom of the Seven Lakes by A.B. Endicott. Read it! Read it! Oh my god, this book is amazing. So this is a fantasy book, and we follow Elenai, who is from like a family of assassins, and she is sent on a errand mission to actually protect the Queen's son, Gideon. She's only had one child, which is Gideon, and this area has always had a queen on the throne, so people aren't sure how to feel about Gideon being the heir to the throne, and so lots of people want to, you know, assassinate him just to get him off the throne and keep a woman in power. So she's there to look after him. Just the world building is amazing, how we find out about the world's politics. And there are lots of books in this series. So I've only read 2, I've started the 3rd one. The first 2 books are about Elenai and Gideon, and then the third book and further on delve into the different parts of this fantasy world that she's made. And it's incredible and gives you so much of a diverse background. She chose to self-publish. I don't know if she was approached by publishers or not, but like Bloomsbury, you could have made some dough because these books are good. Oh, they're so good. They are so good. I read them on Kindle, and I can struggle with Kindle books compared to physical books. It tends to be a slower reading process for me, and I speed through them whenever I read them. I 1,001% recommend reading Queendom of the Seven Lakes. It's amazing. Then the next question is, how did I hear about all of these books? One of them I found myself. One, which is this one. I found this when I was up Vesuvius. One of the times I've been up Vesuvius. I've climbed that volcano 4 times. I did it when I was a baby. I mean, I didn't climb it, but like I've been up the volcano 4 times. So once when I was an infant, then once again at 7, then again at 19, and then again at 22. And I think I found this when I was 19, so that like 2015, 2016, but I can't confirm. I think 2015. So this would have been 2015 that I found this one. And I literally just found it like on the stalls that are there as you go up. But it does have an ISBN number. I did put it on the Goodreads when I loaded it up into there, so you should be able to find it if it's anywhere online. One book out of the other 4 I won from a Goodreads giveaway, which is kind of sad because they don't do giveaways to the UK anymore. I don't know why. They used to, clearly, because I've won a few books from there. I think 3 in the end, but they don't do it anymore. They only do it to the US and Canada, which is sad. But The Last Roundhead by Jamal Evans was a Goodreads win, and I'm so glad that I randomly entered it. I don't know why I did, because I do like historical fiction, but I hadn't read any adult historical fiction at that time. And so I didn't know that I would like this. The Civil War isn't an era that particularly calls to me, and yet I entered it and I adored these books so much. And then one of the other books I won for a Goodreads giveaway was the 2nd book, and I actually helped Jamal edit the 3rd release, which was insane. I got to read like a pre-publication copy of it and tell him my thoughts, which was amazing. So that's how I got that one. All the others were from NetGalley. So Queendom of the Seven Lakes was on NetGalley, so was the Malinowski Papers, and also Beneath the Surface. With the Queendom of the Seven Lakes, the rest of the series, the author contacted me and offered me them for review, which I obviously was like, yes, please, because they're amazing. But I will tell you right now, we all know, I say this a lot, I haven't got a lot of money. But as soon as I have a decent recurring income, that's what I'm going to buy, is some physical copies of those books, because they're amazing. Are popular books or non-popular books better? That is such a divisive question in my opinion, because with a popular book you know that lots of people have read it, there are lots of people who said it's good, it's went through the publication process where people have picked it out and cherry-picked it and worked on it to make it as best as it can be. However, you can read books that are self-published or not popular that are amazing, and that the literature world has just kind of passed them by for some reason. So you're more likely to like a book that has lots of positive reviews than a book that has almost no reviews. But I still recommend reading the book with no reviews. You could be the first one to like it. I just tend to go off of the blurb and whether I'm going to like it or not. And I found some amazing books that way. Why are some books so unknown? Like I said, a mixture of the literary world just passing them by a bit and not having the funds for the promotion. So the big publishing houses can't even promote all of their books, let alone small publishing houses or if someone's self-published. So that tends to be why you don't hear of books, just on like a logistics scale. If you go back through my videos, a lot of like my tag videos where they're like, recommend a book, a lot of them for me are less well-known books because I love them so much and I want more people to read them. Do I read popular or non-popular books? I think a good mixture of both. A lot of the books that I read I don't tend to see online. I see a lot of people saying that they've never heard of them when I post about them places. But then also I do see books and go, okay, I've seen a million people talk about Leigh Bardugo, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to see what it's like. So I think I have like a decent 50-50 mix. I don't know. I'm obviously quite biased because I want to think that I read like a lot of unknown books because I want to think that my opinion isn't influenced too much by the masses, but it probably is. And then will I read more obscure books? Yes, very happily. I mean, I had to input this to Goodreads. Which you can do, by the way, and I got Alex from Alex Black Reads to explain it to me because I didn't know how, but I wanted to be able to track them. I will very happily read an obscure book if it's something I think I'll be interested in. Why not? Why would you only read popular books? You might miss out on an amazing book. A book might be obscure when you find it but becomes popular and you're like, oh, I was gonna read it and now it looks like I'm just jumping on the bandwagon for no reason. Whereas I could have been one of the people to really shout from the rooftops about this book. And then even like separate from that, I just want to read what I want to read. So. And then the very last question is, who do I tag? So I'm going to tag Caitlin from Mad Cheshire Cat, I think. Sorry. And also Carrie from Caring for Books. You guys, I really recommend you do this tag because I know you also like reading a few things that are a little bit obscure. We all tend to just kind of read what we want, which is the best thing to do. But if you do want to do this video and I didn't tag you, just do it, please. And like let me know down in the comments that you've done it, put a link to your video and I'll go watch it. So if you want to see some more from me, hit the subscribe button down below and you can look at all of my links to all of my bookish stuff in the description and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!